I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about the Research to Practice application tool, which is your final Research to Practice assignment in your set of 3 assignments for the semester. And this is coming up. It's due April 17th. And as part of the Research to Practice assignment, you've created an annotated bibliography, and now you've completed a literature review where you've looked at 2 main ideas that are really resonating in the research regarding your question or your topic. So your tool is going to be developed as a way for you to provide that information that you've obtained from your lit review and from the research to practitioners. So if you were asked to provide a training or provide some quick and easy way for others to learn about the importance of the information that you've learned, how can you do that? How can you make your information accessible to an everyday practitioner in the field? So somebody that might not be getting their master's degree but would like to learn a little bit more about the information that you've obtained from this project. And so you want to make sure that it's very practitioner oriented, but yet also research based. And so that's the big piece of this assignment, is to make sure that underlying whatever you decide to do, that the research is really evident, that it's evident that you are not just creating this information, that the information has come from the research, and that you're using this information from the research to make it more practitioner friendly. So you're still going to be maintaining the same theory that you've been using throughout, unless you're instructed otherwise by me in your feedback. Otherwise, you're going to be thinking about the same theory. You're going to be thinking about the same resources, the same research. So you're not going to be going back and finding other research or resources, but using the same ones you've already used in your prior assignments. But the added twist is keeping the practitioner in mind, thinking about the practitioner. And what I would urge you to do is to have a conversation with the practitioner when you're developing the tool, maybe once you've done the tool, have them look at it, give you feedback so that you really can understand what it is that you're doing. Make sure the message is clear, make sure it is applicable. I think that's the important piece. So you want to make sure that you are using theory, using your research, and keeping the practitioner in mind when you're developing this tool. You want to make sure you realize the tool is a professional development tool. It should be developed to help assist teachers or practitioners in your field to learn more about a certain topic and how to integrate that topic within an learning environment. It's not a tool to be used in a classroom with students. It's not a tool like a resource for the students or for the teachers to be using within the classroom, but more for the teacher's own professional development. The content criteria, similar to the past, it's what you're being graded on is your critical, thoughtful, and innovative presentation of ideas. So is this a real-world professional development tool that can be used? Is it innovative? Is it really taking the information from the theories and the research and really supporting that within your tool? Are you applying those 2 main ideas or 2 main concepts that have emerged from the research? And really, is it evident that your research studies are supporting these ideas and these key applications? Are you continuing to use those 5 sources? And is the tool innovative? So are you using innovative technology? There's a lot of great technology out there to use. You can use Pawtunes, you can use a Prezi, you can use a Versal. I've used some of those this semester already. A lot of my students have created Wix web pages. Wix.com, Wix, is an easy site for creating your own website. And so students in the past have done that. There's all sorts of other cool web tools out there that you can use to create a research to practice tool that practitioners can access. So in terms of the grading rubric and what you're going to be graded on, it's 9 points total. You get 2 points for having a critical and thoughtful understanding of the ideas it should be presented in an innovative way, and it should capture the audience and really serve as its purpose as a real-world professional development tool. You should be incorporating your two main ideas, so that should be evident throughout, and those should be incorporated through key findings for teacher practice, so providing some more applicable ways of thinking about those main ideas. Again, the application of information is clear and evident. You can see where the research comes from, so you might want to provide your citations. You want to make sure that it's clear that everything that you're saying that teachers should be doing or in terms of training teachers needs to come from the research. So it should be clear that it's research-based. Make sure you're referencing those 5 sources. It's important that we continue to align what you're presenting with the references and with the research. And again, that you have an innovative tool. So you're using a Wix page or a Versal or something innovative. If you choose to use PowerPoint or iMovie or just a Word document, that's gonna have you lose points. So you want to make sure you're being innovative in your practice. And so I wanted to show you an example of one. You have several examples in your module and research your practice module, but here's one of the examples that's in your module that I wanted to show you. This was done a couple semesters ago, and it is a Wix page, and this particular student did hers on differentiated instruction. And so down here she has a different links about the website, differentiated instruction, resources, and checklists, which are the same that are up here. Within your differentiated instruction, she's got her 2 main ideas that stem from the research. So thinking about differentiated instruction in the classroom, talking about what differentiated instruction actually is, defining that, the theories related to differentiated instruction. So she's incorporating the theories piece. And then here she has ideas stemmed from the research that she did. So thinking about the learning environment, how different students learn, and what are different ways that we can provide students with differentiated instruction based on the environment and their capabilities. And that's stuff that she has came up with from the actual research. If you go back to differentiated instruction, the next tab is developing teachers. That was her other theme, was thinking about what teachers need in order to be able to incorporate differentiated instruction into their classrooms. So here she's talking about things that teachers need to be doing, what professional development should look like for teachers with regard to differentiated instruction, and some of the strategies for professional development for teachers with in terms of differentiated instruction. She provides her resources. She has examples of what differentiated instruction should look like and not look like. She's providing a teacher's guide for differentiated instruction as well as her references for differentiated instruction. And so should be opening her reference sheet here. My computer's a little slow. So here are her resources, and she actually included her annotated bibliography. That isn't necessary. You can just include the references. You don't need to include the annotated bibliography as well. And the other thing she did was she provided a checklist that helps you to determine that helps you when you're creating differentiated instructional lessons in the classroom to meet the needs of your students. So she found this checklist that really aligns well with the research that she did, and was able to provide that as a resource for teachers, as a professional development resource. As they're working on their lessons, they can use this to kind of get a sense of whether what they're doing is differentiating instruction. And so there are a lot of different ways of doing this. You just want to make sure you're including your references, that it's clear that it's research-based, and that it's really applicable and useful by the practitioner in terms of learning more about the topic under study.